All right, let's hit this real fast and we'll get started here in a little bit. So I'm out here working in Arkansas this week, and so yeah, so yeah, so Arkansas, been here, been through the state, haven't actually been um, to stay in Arkansas. So this is kind of my first time, and it's a very rural area, very rural. And so anyway, we're going to talk about kind of the 5 reasons why people just kind of hate network marketing. And I was talking with a good friend of mine. Obviously, he's outside of talking with some friends inside of network marketing and some outside of network marketing. And I think there's just some things that we just really kind of got to clean up. I mean, as a profession, as everything, we just want to help some people out. And so, what are we talking about here? If this is your first time with me, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Randy Johnson, and what I do is I teach network marketers the mindset, daily habits, and secret sauce to build a network marketing business. And so, you know, I'm gonna go over a couple things, and I'm gonna reference my one of my mentors and the person who I look up to, and that's in Ray Higdon. And one thing he says is that people aren't turned off by network marketing; they're turned off by network marketers. And so, that's not one of the things, but you gotta, in everything that I'm going to explain here, keep that phrase in mind. If you'll keep that phrase in mind, people aren't turned off by network marketing; they're turned off by network marketers. And you'll see that in every facet of these 5 reasons why people hate network marketing. Okay, and so the first one is, and I'll keep looking down here, right? Because I wrote a few notes down. I want to make sure that we provide the value. But first is that people don't talk about, they always talk about short term. You'll hear someone come in and say, I got in last week. I've only been in this business for a month, and I'm up to 5 grand and blah blah blah, whatever it is. Okay, you'll hear them, come across as their fast money kind of a thought process. And that's just kind of the profession. And that goes back to olden days, and those are some of the old habits and things that were taking place in like the 60s and 70s and whatever else it was, amongst this profession. And so, I think there's a little bit of a shift. If you get around a few more network marketing professionals, you should start to hear a little bit of a shift in the mindset, because here's what I want to compare this to, right? Network marketing is very similar to a lot of professions: insurance, real estate, etc., etc. And so no one goes into real estate and says, hey, listen, you're going to be selling houses. Look, you get into this real estate thing, I'm telling you, next week you done made 10,000 selling. They show them the potential, but most people who are inside of real estate, they do it at a very part-time basis, and they start out on a part-time basis and start to work their way in. They understand that it's a profession that they have to learn, right? And no one talks about that in network marketing. It's like, look, if you sit down with someone, look, it's going to take you about 6 months in this profession. It's not a lot. 6 months to kind of get acclimated and understand exactly what you have your hands on, and actually get a little bit more traction. Now, that's not a horrible number. 6 months, it's going to go by anyway, but you kind of set the expectation and teach people to think long term and say, hey, this is a profession that you have to learn. Anything new, you start a new job, you got to learn. Okay, in everything that you do, you have to learn. There's some basics that you have to get accustomed to. And so you got to tell people, number one, short term versus long term. Okay, quit selling them on short term, high hopes, and show them long term, which kind of leads into number two, which is, a lot of times you'll know you're talking primarily to a network marketer when you hear like, hey, fire your boss or different things like that, because that's just what people kind of say. That's one of the stigmas, like, oh, I want to fire the boss, and I'm done working a job. Why are you working a 9 to 5, and different things like that. And that's what if you go around preaching that, only a few select people will actually buy into that kind of a philosophy. Most people are either they're in their job and it helps pay their bills. Number two, maybe it's a job they like. Maybe they love their job and they're not really looking to leave it. Okay, maybe they're just looking to supplement or get an additional income or get something on the side. Okay, and so if you talk to them in those type of ideas, if you talk to them in those type of ways, then you're more apt to get more people to say, maybe they got something going on here. Okay, because let's be honest here, for the average person, building up a business to $500 or $1,000 extra a month on top of what they're already doing is pretty good, right? It's a pretty good kind of concept if you think about that. If you think about it from that perspective and you talk to people in those things, they can see that. If you talk to someone that says, hey, listen, you can make $500,000, most people can't see that. They can't envision that, and therefore they're turned off. Okay? Or they think it's unreal and they're turned off. Will you get some people who want to excel and go about that? Of course you will. But if you want to reach the masses of people, you need to speak in languages and speak into terms that they can understand. Does that just make sense? Of course. So you don't talk about actually replacing their income. You say, hey, we're going to add something on top of what you're already doing. Okay? Whether it's whatever their goal is. Okay? You think about that. Now, here's another thing why people will just hate network marketing. And listen, I'm all of these things right here, I'm telling you, I've been guilty of them. I've done them. And, it's only if you stick around long enough to actually grow that you'll understand this. And this one is a bait and switch, okay? Baiting and switching and saying, hey, listen, here's why I want to, you say, hey, come on over for dinner. And then you pull out your chart and say, hey, look at this, blah, blah, blah. Well, you didn't really want me over for dinner. You just kind of wanted to show me your business or show me your products or whatever it is, right? People hate a bait and switch, okay? And bait and switches, they really ruin relationships because people feel like you aren't genuine. You don't really care about them. You just kind of wanted to get them over to say whatever it is. So what I tell people, just be direct. Accept the no or accept the whatever it is, no, I can't do it early. And people will respect you for it. They may not, want to do or look at your business or look at whatever it is. But if you're upfront and direct with them, okay, then at least they can respect that. All right? Don't bait and switch. Listen, I've been guilty of it, and I'm going to tell you this. If you stick around and you have some morals about yourself, then it kind of makes you feel dirty too. All right? It's a dirty feeling for everyone. No one likes it, and it just sucks. It just sucks. So that would be number 3. Number 4. Okay, listen to people. You can always tell someone who's new because they're so eager to just pitch their business. Okay, now back up a little bit because you have to be direct, but listen to people. People are going through different things, and sometimes your business just isn't always the solution, right? It just isn't always the solution to what their problem is. Could it help them? Sure. Should you believe in your business and your product? Absolutely. But if you listen to people, okay, they can't see, they may be blinded by their problem to actually see your opportunity or your business or anything like that. And that turns people off because when they're talking to you, and all you're thinking money, 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 money. You're thinking, oh man, I got to get them in here. Oh, this would be great. Oh, all you got to do. And they're saying, hey, listen, my light's getting ready to get cut off. You say, hey, listen, forgo your light bill, forgo your rent, forget all that. Get started in this business. And you're just thinking you have that commission breath, right? With the good old commission breath. All you think about is yourself. And that's not good. Not good at all. And, the last one here I'm going to talk about. This one is, I have been on both ends of this. Well, I don't want to say both ends because, everybody who's a friend, I'm just kind of friend. But I've been on the receiving end of this. And I'll tell you, it's not good. It's just not good. If you always have to preach friends first, man. I mean, beyond everything, beyond, the business. And I've got a lot of friends who are close to me. And, some of them just aren't in my business and aren't doing what I do. But you have to think about it, right? when I served in the Navy, I didn't, get mad at a friend of mine because they didn't join the Navy, right? I didn't get mad at them. Oh, you didn't join the Navy. You're stupid. Why aren't you joining this? World's finest Navy, blah, blah. How would you look? You look dumb. And that's how you look. That's how you look when you talk to who's supposed to be a friend and they don't join your business and you say, no, we can't be friends anymore. I'm not associating with you. Now, if you're going through some changes and your mindset is a little positive and they're a little negative, that doesn't mean that you just totally cut them off, but you reduce your time. And you explain to them and just have a conversation like, hey, listen, here's kind of the direction I'm going. We'll still be friends, but just kind of the way of the toxic relationship in which we have, that's, it's just not going in that direction. All right. And so to cut everybody off who's not inside of your business is kind of crazy. To cut people off because here's the deal. You never know what they're going to do in the future. You never know what kind of person they're going to become. You never know that, hey, you may do another business and they may be the perfect person for that business. And you've just cut them off over what? A few $100 of some commission? What did you cut them off for? Okay, I'm not saying give them all your time, but at the same time, make sure that you keep that policy of friends first, beyond everything else. So listen, I've got to get ready to go to dinner here, and we're meeting up and gonna have a little something to eat. But I always want to tell you guys, okay, remember, people aren't turned off by network marketing. If they understand it, if they get it, not everyone's gonna do it, and it's not for everyone. It's just not. Nothing is for everyone. But if they get it and they understand what you're doing here, okay, let them make an informed decision and don't let them be turned off by you. Because when if they ever think about doing it, make sure that they think fondly of you and say, hey, I know such and such is doing it. I know Billy's doing it. I know, Janice is doing it. And, maybe let me see what they're doing. Let me see what they're talking about. I'm a little bit more open now. Some things have changed, and life has a funny way of changing. Okay, that. You can be in a job today, your boss, get you a little hot and PO'd, you're out of there. And now you're just kind of more open now. And so that's just something that I want to kind of drop on you. Some things that you really need to contemplate and think about. And when you go to present to people, just have a genuine conversation. Just be a friend. I mean, that's all network marketing is just being a friend and having a conversation. Say, hey, here's what we're doing. That's it. Are you open to it or you're not? Does it seem like it's a fit? Does it not? And it's just a conversation. That's it. Don't make it more than what it is. And you'll have some success, okay? You learn a few more skills and you'll have some success. But listen, I got to go get ready for dinner. They're waiting on me. And hope you all have an awesome, awesome day. Take care.